Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dustin Cormier, and you're watching How to Rock Astrology. Today is going to be episode 2 in our series talking about the true story of the Nakshatra Gods, written by Vic Dicara. We've just gone through chapters giving the story of 3 nakshatras, Varuna, Purva Ashada, and Kritika, Varuna being the deity of Shatabhishak. Now we are on to chapter 5, and we're going to be talking about politics in paradise. And this is a chapter on Jyestha and Indra. The rain god was a man of passionate ambition to grow, expand, and be the very best. This is what Jyestha means. When he returned from the successful defeat of Vritra, he saw his golden opportunity rise. If Varuna is truly fit to be our leader, he whispered amongst the gods, why did I have to be the one to convince him to rescue Appas? What made him hesitate? Why was he afraid of the dragon? Or is he partial to that mischievous species? And which of these would be worse? If Varuna was not afraid, and truly is the strongest among us, why did I have to be the one to remove Vritra's head with my thunderbolt? And if Varuna is not partial to the dragon, why did he interfere with my first attempt to do away with that miscreant snake? As Indra won gods over to his side, the rain god's whispering gradually became more and more persuasive, more and more bold, the rain god being Jupiter. Eventually all the gods, even Agni, was convinced that Varuna was unfit to rule, and that the rain god Indra should replace him. With all the gods behind him, the god of rains, Indra, came before Varuna, who seemed calm and resigned to what was clearly about to happen. The gods have asked me, the rain god declared, to act as their spokesperson and inform you of their opinion. They wish to express that your recent failure to punish Vritra has filled them with doubt, and they are no longer sure if you are truly the most powerful and impartial among us. These doubts may or may not be true, but we all know that the best king should be beyond reproach. Varuna offered no protest, nor could even a grimace be traced on his stoic face. The gods have asked me, said the rain god Indra, coming to the heart of the matter, to take your place as their leader. So be it, was Varuna's only reply. He could see the matter from their perspective. Moreover, he could see through the rain god's political eyes as well, and had no desire to descend to that level. From today forward, the rain god declared, I shall be known as the king, Indra, and you shall remove yourself from paradise, retire to the bottom of the deepest ocean. As the custodian of the seas, you shall become the husband of the rivers, to recompense your crime of failing to protect Appas in her time of need. Varuna said again only 3 words, so be it, complying without complaint, thinking the judgment good and right in its own way. He stood up and strode out of paradise, and never once made any attempt to reclaim his throne. The next chapter is on a very interesting element of Vedic astrology, and Vedic philosophy, I should say. An alternate paradise. Ashlesha and the Naga. The Nagual energy is the deity of the nakshatra Ashlesha. With Varuna gone, Indra immediately turned upon the dragons. To recompense the crime done by the archetype of your race, he declared, I banish you too from paradise. The dragons rose ferociously against Indra. Against the fully prepared might of the gods, however, they could not prevail, and the dragons plummeted from heaven's paradise. Landing upon the earthly plane, the dragons tunneled beneath the earth, and with the help of their great architect and builder, Maya, created a second paradise in the space below the earthly realm, a subterranean paradise out of sight of the sun and the gods, whom they would forever onward resent and oppose. A host of other powerful asura defected from Indra's kingdom to join the dragons in this alternative paradise and to fight with them against Indra's reign. Their subterranean world is nothing at all like hell or Hades. It is a place of grandeur and pleasure, not punishment and lament. More beautiful than the celestial paradise, full of radiant jewels, exotic groves and lakes, and breathtaking serpentine maidens eager to enjoy their uncommon health and vitality. The air carries sweet scents and music. The ground is multicolored, soft, and mixed with jewels and gold. Without the sun to mark time in a normal way, the subterranean paradise has exceptional freedom from fatigue, aging, and disease. The light here radiates from fantastic phosphorescence and radiant jewels often worn in the crowns on the residents' serpentine hoods. Since they dwell below the earthly plane, they are associated with subconscious forces. Like lava which flows within the earth, the Nagas are associated with the internal power generators in organic bodies, the chakras, especially the deepest, lowest chakras, which, like dragons, are sexual and mystical by nature. The dragons are materialistic, fascinated by wealth and pleasure, but their approach to enjoying and acquiring these things is through exercise of mind-boggling magic powers, mystic siddhi. If the dragons perform some yogic discipline, it is only ever for this sake, strengthening their ability to enjoy the superior pleasures of this world. Indeed, there is no species who has better mastery over the arts of pleasure and enjoyment. The few dragons who have a different disposition were estranged from the rest when their mother, Kadru, rigged a very serious bet against her own sister, Vinata, out of abject jealousy and envy. Have you seen the beautiful white horse that emerged from the milk ocean when it was churned? Kadru asked her sister. Yes, Vinata replied. It was magnificent. I've never seen anything so white. No, Kadru protested. It had some black hair. What? Are you crazy? I am not crazy, Kadru taunted. You are. Vinata looked at Kadru incredulously. Kadru said, I will stake my very freedom on it. If you are right, if the horse has no black hair, I will be your slave, along with all my children, for the rest of our lives. But if I am right, if the horse does have some black hair, you and your children will be slaves for the rest of your lives. If you're so confident, accept this bet. The sister, Vinata, accepted. Kadru, the sister of Vinata, then asked her jet-black serpentine children to climb into the divine horse's tail, where they could be mistaken for black hair. A small section of her children were so disgusted by this trickery that they disowned their family and moved away from the subterranean paradise. The rest were quite eager to have Vinata and her two powerful children as their mother's slaves, demonstrating the predominant mentality of dragons: deceptive, tricky, and prone to act out of envy and jealousy over the treasures and pleasures, assets and talents possessed by others. With a few rare exceptions for the sake of business and pleasure, the dragon's hatred and spite as a whole is eternally fixed upon Indra, and they, along with the Asuras, disgusted with Indra who left paradise, are forever bent upon seeking vengeance by reclaiming the heavens and banishing Indra and the gods from their celestial paradise. This is the end of this present chapter. In this episode, we've talked about Indra, and we've also talked about the Naga. And Indra relates to the Nakshatra of Jyestha, while the Naga relates to the Nakshatra of Ashlesha. Keep in mind, oftentimes when we hear about a race or a deity and their characteristics, Vic tends to be very pointed and very loud about expressing the characteristic of the nakshatra through the character of the deity and the protagonist in the story. So keep that in mind. For now, folks, I'm Dustin Cormier. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you on the next one, where we are going to talk about Parani and her deity, Yama. Thanks for watching.